Welcome to Take a Look! Alien, the first mega-hit sci-fi horror movie, changed the game in so many ways, launching a billion-dollar movie and video game empire. Today, we'll celebrate the 45th birthday, look back at the original Sigourney Weaver Lady Power original, and the sequels, and the prequels.
Get away from her, you...
But first, let's jump on the set and catch up with the cast and crew of the all-new Alien Romulus as we take a look. And welcome to Take a Look. Like I said, it's our half hour dedicated to all things Alien, specifically Alien Romulus. Let's start it off with a bang with the whole cast. Give yourselves a big round of applause. All right, so of course, I know who you are, but for people who don't or tries to figure out who's who, introduce yourselves.
I am Kaylee Spaney.
I am David Johnson.
I'm Isabella Merced.
I'm Spike Fern.
I'm Archie Renault.
All right, so who wants to tell me what they're going to remember 20 years from now, looking back to the day? What was the day that was truly the scariest for you on set? I know horror movies aren't always scary to make, but certainly there had to be a moment.
I think coming face to face with that xenomorph, I mean, I had a real moment with it, and it was absolutely terrifying. Also, Fede Alvarez, our director, he, in that particular scene, because I think fear is one of the hardest things to play, he let the camera roll for what felt like 10 minutes straight, and so it was just 10 minutes of absolute fear. So and that creature's just pretty incredible, but also really freaky. Yeah, that was a wild day.
Did anybody have a love of Alien, the franchise, before jumping into this?
I think we all did.
Yeah, I think we're all big fans.
Anybody have nightmares from any of the Alien movies prior to this?
Yeah, I think we all watched it pretty young, maybe too young. I think we had the same experience. I think our dads showed us, but yeah, I think that was the first horror movie I ever saw as well, and that's probably what started my I don't know the right word, but
fascination with
horror, but just being so scared of horror movies. But yeah, I think when, especially after getting casted, I become like a true fan before jumping into it.
The f was that? Yo!
Stop playing around, man. Just get up.
I'm not playing around. There's something in the water.
What do you mean there's something in the water?
I don't know. There's just something in the water.
Run.
What you guys feel like, but
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
take the stage, guys. Take the stage.
Well, yeah, definitely. Like getting cast in it, you then have to like kind of study it and understand the world a lot more, and you know.
Which is such a treat.
What it
like
means.
that was our work to
That was
go
our
back and
homework.
watch the Alien franchise.
Right, it's wild. I'm an old guy, so I was like your age when the first movie came out, and I just remember how game-changing it was, and scary at the same time, and I love that this, by all appearances, goes back to that original. Was it wild for you, having done the homework, having seen it, to be on the set, to see how pure it was?
So crazy, you know, I mean, especially because R1 wasn't like, you know, R1 wasn't going further in the Alien saga, it was actually going back. So we were going like right back to that originality of like what Ridley Scott made, and then in between what James Cameron took on, so...
And adding to that.
And adding to it too, so we just had like the best of every single world, feeling like we're making something that feels like it's part of cinematic history, as well as something that's going to add to it. So that was rather brilliant.
Awesome. You know, this isn't a dog and pony show, but I want people to see this, so finish this sentence. See Alien Romulus because...
It'll get your heart rate up in a good way.
Yep.
In a good way.
See Alien Romulus because it's going to blow your mind.
See Alien Romulus because it's a true cinematic experience that deserves to be seen in the biggest theater you can possibly find.
Yes.
Amen.
See Alien Romulus because it will transport you back to a bit of that magic from the original films.
See Alien Romulus for a great time.
I say see Alien Romulus because you guys are awesome, and give yourselves a big round of applause. You know who else is awesome? Fede, your director, coming up next as we continue this special. He talks about his roots, why he loves aliens, and how Ridley and he will forever be connected at the hip. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to Take a Look at our half-hour special dedicated to all things Alien. Romulus, like we said, Fetty, the director, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Just sat down with the cast. They love you, as they should. How was it working with this relatively new bunch of people?
It was amazing. It was amazing. They really, one of the things I was looking for them when I cast them was make sure that they care as much as I do, right? But that's what you want out of your cast. You do 20 takes and you go, I think now we have it, that they will tell you, no, can I do another one? You know, that they really want to nail it, and that's what they all had. They really were, topping each other. They really want to be the best they can be in the movie.
Is it nice to have fresh faces that can inhabit these fresh roles?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the best movies are the ones that keep you asleep in the fantasy, right? That doesn't wake you up and makes you see, this is not real. Bad performances wake you up. They're like, who would say that in that situation? Bad visual effects will make you go, that doesn't look real at all. Some of the things that sometimes take me out is like, you watch a movie, then a character that you've seen in so many movies shows up, and you're like, I know that he's not a captain of a ship.
Right.
He's this guy from that other movie. So I think when you manage to create a story like this, that not a lot of movies have the luxury of not needing like superstars, because Alien is a star, the title is the star. You can afford to have great actors that are fresh faces that you will fully believe they are who they pretend to be in the story.
The first movie is so special to me. It's the very first R-rated movie I'd ever been to. I think I was 10. I should not have been at that movie. It damaged me in all the best ways. For you, like, you were literally an infant. At what point did this become a part of your DNA?
I'd probably watch it. I watched Aliens first, actually, when I was 12, probably. It was 1990, and Aliens was still fresh on the circuit. It had come out 4 years ago, and it was in VHS everywhere. It was a massive VHS hit at the time as well. So I probably watched Aliens first, and then Alien. I need to go and find Alien right away, probably. Most people that I named their favorite movies, they watched them when they were at that age. That's when it really cuts deep, right?
The first movie, genre-defying. I mean, sure, it's sci-fi, but more importantly, it is a classic horror movie. And what I love about this, like every snapshot of this goes back to that origin. Was that your intent? Was that your hope?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's because the first one worked so well because he was so terrifying, right? That was the whole thing. Like 79 when that movie came out, there was nothing like that. It was one of the most terrifying experience people have ever had in theaters. And then obviously Cameron makes it more into action thriller and still keeps some of the horror but move more into the action, as you should do. You should evolve constantly with these movies. But I think he had evolved so much that I kind of got away from that home, that where he started, that horror, those horror roots. What I wanted to see as an audience, above all things, but also the director, I want to make it, take it back to that original, horror idea that was the first film, right?
As we wrap it up on that first film, Ridley Scott cut his teeth with that. What advice did he give you?
One of the things he always said was like to never underestimate the audience. To always elevate it and never dump it down. Like that was the thing he kept saying. So we make sure that we can give you a story that you will find fascinating, and you can never be ahead of it, thinking like, I know what's going to happen next. Like that will be the worst sin.
Well, I think you passed the torch the right direction. This is one of the best Alien movies ever made.
I hope so.
And I'm not just saying that because we're in the middle of a half-hour special, but we are. And when we come back, the aforementioned Sir Ridley Scott talks about all things aliens then and this. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. Today it's all thing aliens because I love the original Alien movie and now Alien Romulus in theaters everywhere. See it on the biggest screen possible. Moments ago I talked to Fede Alvarez, the director, and you're going, great, what good does that do me? I didn't see it. If you miss anything, you can always go to YouTube and check out the entire episode, including all the cast members, etc. All right, so with Fede down, let's move on to where it all began. Ridley Scott helmed the original back in 1979. I caught up with him at Pinewood Studios to hang out with both he and Michael Fassbender. In this particular Aliens, he played two roles, and we talked about all of that, including someone who named their kid after him. Take a look.
Where is it?
Both of you, congratulations on this.
Thank you.
I'm a huge fan of the franchise, and so, I really, really set the bar very high for these movies, and this one delivers.
Right. Very good.
Is there a moment in this movie, and I know like every nuance of this movie is your baby, but is there a moment for each of you that you're most proud of?
I like the fact that we got to do the Walter and David in the same frame, and that scene that we shot where Walter and well, David's teaching Walter how to play the flute. It was really exciting.
It's not distracting. It's so remarkable that you don't realize there aren't two actors sitting there delivering this really poignant scene.
Yeah, so that for me was exciting, and understanding how we were going to do that, and then the execution of it.
Mine's encompassing, I thought, that I'm very happy to have got together what is normally just an action movie with much more to say and much more to discuss. And so there are layers to this film apart from just the savagery. I think that worked pretty well.
And the thing about it, there's so many twists and turns in this movie. This might as well be Murder on the Orient Express. There's so many plot spoilers along the way.
Could be, yeah.
I want to share something with you. I met a couple via Facebook. They reached out and poked me because they met through the Alien franchise, and they have something they want to tell you, if that's okay. So, family, if you would, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Juliana.
And I'm Greg.
And this is baby Ridley.
They named their baby after you. Because you two met how? How did you two meet?
We met playing a video game called Aliens vs. Predator many years ago. And my favorite part was being the alien, and I'd like to bite off his head.
Great.
Hi, Ridley. You doesn't look too happy. Is he all right?
Hey, what's up?
Oh.
Well, keep in mind, they're on the West Coast Pacific time, so it's like 4 in the morning for them.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Hi, Ridley. Go to bed.
Go to bed, he says. I thought I'd get a bigger rise out of Ridley Scott. Not a lot excites Ridley Scott, and I got to be honest with you, I wasn't exactly excited about that movie. Though it's a brilliant movie, I'm all about Alien being a horror movie, and that's why I really like Romulus, because it takes it back to that. Someone who I know is like-minded, one of my favorite people on the planet. He was the best thing, with the exception of Olivia Munn, about Attack of the Show. He is Chris Gore, ladies and gentlemen, the founder of Film Threat Magazine. How are you, sir?
You've got a lot of enthusiasm for this early in the morning, but thanks, Mark. I really appreciate it. You're always a great supporter of mine.
I got a lot of coffee going at all times. Yeah, I am enthusiastic about this.
Okay, good.
I'm worried because we had a brief chat during commercial, and I don't know whether you like this or not. What are your thoughts on Romulus?
Well, I love the Alien franchise. I mean, one of the greatest sci-fi films ever made. Created a new standard in horror. Aliens, James Cameron went another direction and upped the ante. I think this is a solid addition to the franchise. It went in a new direction. It's not, I didn't love it as much as many people, so I'm kind of mixed on it. I'm mixed, but I feel like it hits the beats of everything you would want from an Alien movie. People in peril, you've got face huggers, chest bursters, and characters you care about, so it hits all those beats, but I'm a little mixed. My favorites are the early films.
I love that it's become general discussion now. Face huggers, chest busters, it's just a thing that we throw out there because he's created such a world. I interrupted, go on.
No, it's good. Like, look, I'm in the theater. I don't care. You know, good movie, bad movie, Alien. If it's Alien, I'm there. So I'm a little mixed on it, but I'm very excited about the popcorn buckets that are in theaters. There are several different ones, and I plan to collect them all. But look, this movie is also like takes you in a different direction. I think people are going to be they're going to be surprised. The third act, there are twists where it goes in directions you don't expect, and I appreciate it for that, for sure. And Fede, I really like the director, Fede Alvarez. I think is fantastic what he did with the Evil Dead franchise. So, and I can't wait to see the interview you did with him.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love him for the same reason. What he brought to Evil Dead, I think he brings to a brilliant pacing of this. And I'll go back to what I said in the beginning. I love Alien as a horror movie. Didn't like it so much when it got all philosophical and way too sci-fi-y. I'm a pure horror lover, as I know you are. One thing I will say, the first movie, although I think unintended, they flipped the role's gender at the last minute, brought Sigourney Weaver to fame, and also like the power punch woman in the forefront to the front. And I think this movie does it as well. I think it has a nice homage to that power, right?
Yeah, it does. It's a great job. Like the original Alien was more of an ensemble piece, and they kind of built up Captain Dallas, to be the hero, and then he's off in the middle of the movie, and then Ripley kind of rises to prominence. But she's the smart one. She's the one that says, "Hey, don't bring him in. We have protocol. Hey, should we be doing this?" I mean, she is the smart one all along, and she is an iconic character, Ripley. So people reference her as the sort of original girl boss, along with Linda Hamilton. So,
and this movie, not to plot spoil, does have a character that starts to take the lead in a very similar way. All right, as we wrap this up, see this movie on the big screen. Do you recommend it that way?
Oh, I always on the big screen. IMAX, if you can, or Dolby Cinema.
Absolutely.
I'll see it both ways. Yeah.
All right, and where can we find you? What are you doing? What is Chris Gore up to these days that we can, like, shamelessly promote now?
Oh, well, you can go to filmthreat.com or my YouTube channel, Film Threat, or follow my personal account, That Chris Gore, and follow my adventures.
Awesome. Thanks for hanging out. Chris Gore, one of the most awesome people to talk about movies and a big champion of independent film. Thanks for all you do, Chris Gore.
Thank you.
When we come back, as we continue our tour of all things Alien, we'll go back to where it all began, the scene that people are still in therapy about, the chest buster scene. Ah, those cute little face huggers, they have one end game, and that's the chest busting. We'll celebrate that and talk with the cast of Alien Romulus. More next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look, where we celebrate all things Alien. The original movie turns 45 this summer, and now we celebrate Alien Romulus. See it on the biggest screen possible. Let's go back to the original. I am still in therapy to this day because of the chest busting scene. Oh, those cute little face huggers, they have one end game, and that's the chest busting. So let's go back to 1978 when they were making this movie. H.R. Geiger, this brilliant prop master, special effects master, got together with Ridley Scott and designed that effect. What they didn't do is tell the cast and crew what was about to happen, so the reaction that you see in that scene is really what Sigourney Weaver and the other cast members were experiencing, the same horror there on the day, on the set at Pinewood Studios that we experienced in the theater, or that I reenact with my therapist each and every day. So I apologize if you've just eaten. It's going to upset your stomach a little bit, but not as bad as this guy. Take a look.
Oh! Don't touch it! Don't touch it!
Yeah. Again, more therapy about that. Another thing H.R. Geiger, the guy that designed the set, didn't tell Ridley Scott even, is that those were real, I don't want to go deep into it, but let's just say he stopped by the butcher shop before that scene happened. So a lot of that was real icky. All right, moving on. Shake that off. Let's talk about this new movie and why you need to see it. It is phenomenal. One thing about it is that it's going back to the original horror roots. However, it doesn't have the thoughtful sci-fi elements that, say, Covenant or Prometheus had. By the way, I went on the set of those movies and talked with the likes of Danny McBride and the cast about them. Look.
Well, Yutani, I know you guys are going to watch this. It's a little too late to send me home now, so I might as well be honest. I have been arrested 3 times, and I have stolen a vehicle, and I also punched a police officer's horse in the mouth on St. Patrick's Day. And you guys have handed me the keys to the most expensive spaceship in history. Suckers.
You know, jumping into this franchise, jumping into this movie, has it made you consider what you would do in space travel? Like, what's one thing that you would definitely take with you on this voyage?
Tequila.
Yes, more tequila, yeah.
I'm good with tequila.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's all enough. I would stay at home, I think. I don't think I would actually go out into space.
Oh, yeah, I don't have the courage for that. No, not at all.
Yeah.
My problem is, like, with the tequila, aren't you worried that you would run out of Advil or pain reliever and still just have tequila left over?
Well, moderation is important.
As soon as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, if you could take one album, one set of music into space from one artist or genre, what would it be?
Probably Styx's first album.
Yeah. Rafi, I think, one of his first albums.
Which one was it? What was it called?
Yeah, what's the name of that?
I forget. It's beautiful though, and yeah, that's what I would take.
Great call.
And
Voodoo Lounge, Rolling Stones.
Pretty much have the wide spectrum with the Rafi sandwich in the middle.
Yeah, yep.
Food. What if you could only take one
That's what
food?
I'm having for lunch, the Rafi sandwich.
Love me some Danny McBride. This whole show I've been talking about how Alien Romulus goes back to the original Alien and that it is pure horror and sci-fi. And while Covenant and Prometheus went too deep into the sci-fi for my taste, I did like the humor McBride brought to it. So I salute you, Danny McBride, wherever you are. Hopefully in a big theater, the biggest screen possible, watching Alien Romulus. I suggest you go see it. That wraps up this week's show. If you missed any part of it, always jump on YouTube. Check out Take a Look. We'll go in a deep dive of this and every movie. We'll see you next time. Be careful what you eat.